Why let other people bring you down to their misery? Misery loves company, and it comes in many different shapes and forms.
I remember when I was painting that house last summer, and that's probably the longest chapter in the book, because there was times through that story that I felt like I was being discriminated against. And I wonder, is that how racism, discrimination really felt? I can't say that I have ever felt that before I wrote that story anyway. It's weird to me that, you can really be around somebody else that's a different color from you and treat them any differently just because they're a certain color. And I can't speak on the heart of people. I can't say that this one particular person treated me this way because I was black. I don't know, but I know what it felt like. And I think a lot of the issues that are going on today, people feel like something is happening because of the way that you look. And when you start to analyze everything, you can't really say that that's not the case. So I'm not sure if I've actually been discriminated against, but again, I know how it felt seeing someone in a certain position, make the same mistakes that I was making, but for some reason, I'm viewed as down here and they're viewed as up here. Everything that's going on today, all this injustice, black people getting killed by the same people that are supposed to protect us, by the way. It's really sad. It's saddening. It's maddening at times. Sometimes I feel like I'm part of the problem in a sense, and I say that because I'm not as rowdy as a lot of my other contemporaries, as some of my other black friends or the people that I see on TV. But I don't necessarily believe in their actions either. People want to talk about Malcolm X and how he used to, fight with a closed fist and force things down the throats of his oppressors. But they don't know that, Malcolm X and Marcus Garvey and people like that, they fought, but they fought with actions. They had intentions. And I don't always see intentions nowadays. Like, I get that things are bad, but you can't just riot and protest if those things don't have a purpose. And that's where people are missing. That's why I don't necessarily myself want to go out and protest, because I don't feel like there's a point of action now. And I can see that, like, some people may look down on that, but that's honestly how I feel. That makes me look at myself, though, kind of in a sour way, because I don't have that same mentality. I don't want to go out and fight just to fight. But when everything seems to be going so wrong, sometimes you're left with no other choice. So that divide is something that I talk about a lot. Do I fight because we've been done so wrong? I went through this and I know that it felt like discrimination. I taught at schools and I can see how clearly these black students, these Hispanic students are getting less than white students at other schools. Do I just raise hell, or do I try to assimilate in that system? A lot of times I assimilate in that system. But again, sometimes that seems like it's part of the problem as well. The power at B, they don't want you to make noise. They want you to try to fix it within. But there's so many nooks and crannies and avenues that you have to get to make some type of change. You get tired out. By the time you reach the top, you get to the point where you can actually make a sustainable change, it's far removed. People have already been killed and they've died, and the things that you were fighting for might not matter at that point anymore. So what do? Do you try to be one of them, or do you be one of the fighters? And it seems like nowadays they're both losing battles.
People always talk about change, but is change for the better or is change for the worse? I guess it depends on what you're changing for. Are you changing for you? Are you changing for some boy or girl? Are you changing for some job? Or are you changing to fit in with the world? There are different types of change, good and bad. Change for the good